Hi Dave, thanks for the update and the footage. Just a quick sort of few pointers here in regards to where I feel you should be putting your attention next. More looking at down the line this time. The changes I asked you to make last time from face on are starting to get in there. You still need to apply more of those changes as per the links that I sent you using the drills, etc. But I want to have a little look down the line on this one. And what I've done is made I've took a few stills already at certain spots where I feel you need to improve your technique. The red line is your right knee or trail knee at setup. At P4, if I compare you to Mike Bennett has squeezed pressure point 5 a little bit more than with yourself, meaning that the trail elbow is more externally rotated, so it's squeezed inwards. So the elbow is squeezed this way more on Mike, rather than being pointing out a little bit more with yourself. That's meaning that at the top of the backswing, the shallowing of the shaft in transition becomes easier. You transition a little bit steeper than what would be ideal. Mike's going to come down a little bit shallower by 4.5. And what you do now is you use the right knee, driving towards the golf ball, which then levels out the pelvis, hips tuck underneath, club starts to shallow, whereas Mike has no need to drive the right knee towards the golf ball anywhere near as much because of that condition of the elbow at the top, because of this, the club is shallower earlier, so he doesn't need to use that right knee leveling out the pelvis extension piece to shallow the club out. The problem you've got now is that your swing is directed too much out to the right rather than being more in line. And then as you come through, instead of the arms circling the body post impact like we see with Mike, resulting in a very stable club face, very inline swing direction, typified by that much lower exit where the hands exit the body lower. We have a situation where the arms are flung off the torso and the exit becomes higher, and that's going to result in high rate of closure, hooks, potentially blocks. So we need to control the right knee a little bit more, and we need to lower the exit a little bit. So I'm going to put 2 drills up now that are going to help give you the feel for this based on 2 students that I work with. The first drill here is, it's a little discussion that I had with Gary about the controlling the right knee, controlling the right heel, not extending too quick. You can see that we've got a club beneath the right heel, and he's going to hit some shots and make some swings, trying to keep that under the right heel. This is purely for transition from P4, the top of the backswing, to P6. Delivery position, shaft parallel with the ground on the way down. We want to see the heel planted, the right heel planted. So this is just a short discussion that we had about this sort of area of the swing.
For like a bigger draw?
Yeah, standard draw. So let's say we move the ball 2 balls back.
Yeah.
Okay. And put that over to kind of get a rate of extension a little bit for you. Okay. So just knock that down. So all we've done at this stage is move the ball back 2 balls, yeah?
Yeah.
So you can see when you watch that move that Gary's making, if the right knee was to drive at the target too fast, or towards the target line too fast, and the heel was to lift too quick, the club head would be released and the shaft would fall. So that's that drill. Just hit a few shots, feeling that you're going to push that club into the ground, that you're going to keep it trapped against the ground. Just some little short swing to P4, and then just make some transitions where you push the club into the ground from P4 to P6, And then from there, the club can start to release as the heel comes off. The next drill on the right is a player who has placed a towel, folded a towel and placed it beneath the right elbow. So normally we'd place something under the right armpit, but in this instance we've placed it under the elbow. So what the player's got to do now is during the downswing, he's got to pivot correctly, and instead of being able to extend and throw the arms at it, exiting high, he's training himself to get the arms to orbit the body post impact. So you can see when he does that, the right knee's under control, the body's turning, sliding, starting to extend. And again, that exit's being controlled, the hands and the arms aren't being flung away from the player excessively. When you're doing this drill, you just want to make some little half swings like Neil's doing here with something like an 8-iron. Don't need to use a long club when you're doing this. Don't need to hit the ball a long way when you're doing this. So we're trying to control the rate at which the right knee thrusts towards the golf ball, which is an extension piece. The drill with the towel under the arm is also a great way of feeling that sort of external rotation and that pressure point at the top of your backswing. It's really keeping that arm squeezed against the side, making the transition a little bit shallower, making the downswing a little bit more pivot led, rather than the body stopping, thrusting towards the target, chest pulling away and arms straightening out too quick, resulting in blocks and overdraws. You got any questions, feel free to find me an email. Keep me posted.